Like, you know that there's a huge black market with guns in America. So,
Yeah, sure, but that can be cracked down upon. Um, we can.
do we crack down on drugs that way?
Well, no. So the difference between cracking down on drugs and cracking down on guns is that drugs are like a non-violent crime that you're not, that aren't hurting anyone, except for maybe the person who's using the drugs, obviously. But you're not hurting anyone else with it. And I believe in bodily autonomy. You should be allowed to do whatever you want with your
Oh,
body.
also, just on a side note, I'm very pro marijuana.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad. Um, yeah, that's something that's pretty important to me.
Actually, technically by state, not federal though, because that would hurt my mom's business. But
Why? What's your mom's business?
she's like a CPA accountant, so and she extends her like business to like CEO cannabis CEOs and like does like a lot of things for them. I don't know exactly, but it will hurt her. Like she won't really have a business if it's legal on a national level
I
because
mean,
her business is like Oklahoma, very much
right. I mean, I guess that's
Colorado, where it's legal or they grow a lot. So that's
right. I mean, I
yeah.
guess that sucks that your mom would lose her job if like marijuana were federally legal. Would she like
That was
actually
a
lose her
question on New
job
Jersey
or?
under like the referendum for
Hmm?
New Jersey ballots.
Oh yeah, yeah. I voted to legalize that.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a wide margin.
Right, right. It probably will be. The vast majority of New Jersey definitely is for legalizing marijuana,
Right.
but I am sorry to say that, like, legitimately sorry that if like moving forward and doing something doing something like federally decriminalizing marijuana or legalizing it.
Well, like the reason why she stepped into that is because she's capitalizing on that. Like only some states can grow and dispense or whatever,
Right,
and she
but
realizes that. So now she's in loss. So
hmm okay, yeah, because you,
she
you
still has
shouldn't
her
you shouldn't
CPA
sacrifice
professor.
progress just because some people are going to lose their jobs. If and it
I know.
sucks,
I'm saying from a
especially.
selfish level.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's like it's in the same way that you can't say like, oh, we shouldn't like invest in cars or anything because then the people who drive horse and carriages are going to lose their jobs. Like
Yeah.
it's at the
No, no,
end
no.
like
You know,
it's it.
no. There's no way I'm
Mhm.
arguing.
Right, right.
I'm like, it's better if like multiple states legalizes it eventually, then it will become national. But
Mhm. Yeah, if it becomes national, that's like the end goal, and hopefully that happens at some point. Hopefully
I
Joe
don't know.
Biden does.
There's no con to it. Like, no
Mhm.
one has ever died on marijuana.
Yeah,
Not over.
I think
And
you
if you
literally
feel like
have
you're
to
gonna die
smoke
from
the
it,
equivalent of
you will not die from it unless you
250,000 joints
mix
in
with other
15
things.
minutes.
Unless you're like out driving while very high, but that's another incident. But marijuana alone, you cannot die from.
Right. And even driving high, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Um, Even driving high, there's a lot of evidence indicating that driving high, while it's probably not good, is definitely not nearly as bad as driving drunk.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it
but I see the argument that like
Yeah, it shouldn't
uh,
be legal. It shouldn't be
there's
legal
no
to
way
drive
to
high.
like because it's in your system for like how long? Like a few weeks, a month. Like
It
if you're
depends
driving,
actually.
there's no way there's no alcohol, the BAC test or whatever,
Right.
um,
It's
that
difficult.
they can pull you over and test you for.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's difficult. Um,
That's the only bullet that's like not really.
right.
Yeah, that I
And
can get. I don't see any other cons though.
this is something actually. If you want to talk a little bit about drugs, I'm actually pro decriminalizing all drugs. Uh, I don't know. You okay? Oh God, he muted. Oh no. Oh shit, I think
Yeah,
Miles
I'm
died.
here. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
good.
I'm listening.
Everything good?
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I'm pro decriminalizing all drugs, like including heroin and cocaine and shit.
No, kind
And
of.
yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
there's a YouTube video that you should absolutely watch. That's from
I
Joe.
was, you know, Yoav, right?
I do know Yoav, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to him about it. He believes the same thing as you do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
legalizing something, it gives the people the okay, I can do this then because it's legal, and
Well,
there's no like consequences if it's legal, right?
Well, it doesn't tell people that it's all right. It just tells people that if you're suffering from addiction issues,
It tells them that it's probably safe because it's legal. That's
no,
what I believe it tells
there are a
them.
lot of things that are not safe that are still legal. Like drinking alcohol is not safe, but it's legal. Like driving statistically is not particularly safe, but it's legal. I don't know. Like there are things that are legal to do in America because it would
People
be
will
ridiculous to make it
start
illegal.
having drugs because it's legal, and they're gonna get hooked to it, and they're gonna
But
overdose
people,
on it.
no. Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk to you about. Switzerland. There are a few countries that have done similar things, but I want to talk about Switzerland specifically. Switzerland decriminalized heroin because they had a terrible opioid crisis in, I
Wait,
believe it
hold on.
was.
Wait, I just want to make this clear. There's a difference between decriminalizing and like making it legal.
Yeah, I'm pro decriminalizing. I never said legalizing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, but yeah, so decriminalizing all drugs, and so they decriminalized heroin, and what they had safe injection sites, and at these safe injection sites, you could get free chemically pure heroin from the government, and you can go and inject it yourself with your own needle. You would get a clean needle, and they would monitor you to make sure that you
I
don't
can't hear you.
overdose. Sorry, what was the last thing you heard?
Now I can. Now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, safe injection sites. You get free chemically pure heroin from the government, and they give you a clean needle, and you just go into a room and you inject it, and they monitor you to make sure that you don't overdose and die. And the effect that that had, and then while they're there, they're offered psychological help. They're offered therapy to
Okay,
try
but
to work through
doesn't
their
that cost
problems.
so much having sites and it's for free?
You would think so, but it actually saved the government enormous amounts of money. It saved the government tens of
How?
millions of dollars every year after a certain point because what happened is the black market for heroin just disappeared because who on earth is going to pay for heroin that could be spiked and take the risk of overdosing when instead they could go and get free chemically pure heroin from the government and be monitored to make sure they don't die. Like nobody's going to pay for that. So the black market evaporated and
So
all
what
of
if it becomes decriminalized like heroin, but there's no sites? That's not good.
well, but the safe injection sites actually saved the
No,
government
I'm
money
just
though.
saying, like, would you say it's okay to decriminalize it, but still not have sites?
I
Like,
mean
if America decides to do that.
that's better than what we have now for sure. I would vote for that, but you know, I'm for incremental change, but the safe injection sites are a huge part of that. The safe injection sites are what destroy the black market for it.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense, but I'm just saying I don't see it happening.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, that is another question. I mean, Canada has safe injection sites too. It's not just Switzerland. And Portugal decriminalized all drugs. I don't think they have safe injection sites. And there are a few other countries that I think either did it or are
that's
looking
just.
at doing it in the near future. You know, America tends to be like 20 to 50 years behind on all of
But
these
like,
sorts of
so
progressive
if you're
issues,
like,
but
if the government is providing it, it's basically like, it's not decriminalizing it. It's basically legal. Like,
I
what's the
mean,
difference between
yeah, I guess.
decriminalization and legal?
Well, the difference is that you can't buy heroin in like a pharmacy.
See,
Heroin
but like,
isn't.
but having it by the government, it's like the same thing though.
I mean, I guess it's similar in the end, but the difference is that the safe injection sites, in order to like get into one, you need to be like an adult of a certain age, and you need to be like approved to enter. And a pharmacy is a place where just like anyone can go in. And if it's like legal, then
Oh
you can
shit!
just like go into a
Sorry.
pharmacy and see like heroin packaged for to be bought from like a pharmacy. That's the difference.
Uh huh.
So I don't believe in that.
Um,
Heroin should not just like be available in pharmacies.
but so like, I have a question though. Like, weed is decriminalized in New York, but it's not like there's dispensaries you can walk in and buy it from.
I mean, there are for people who have like anxiety and
Oh yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
obviously. For
yeah.
I myself as a medical, but I've never had it. No, I've had it.
Okay.
I have Crohn's disease. I was in remission and I had it and I just threw up that night. But like, it
Hmm.
was like a pill though. It wasn't really like THC. It was just CBD.
Got it.
But
Yeah, CBD is useful.
how do people? If it's decriminalized in New York, how do people get it through like a black market kind of, right?
Yeah, for now there's a black market, but the
What
black
like
market
why do they
wouldn't.
allow that though? Because it's gonna be laced with other things,
Um,
probably.
I mean, at least in the case of marijuana, it's sometimes it is laced. It's more likely to be laced if it's like a cart. But yeah,
Like at that point, you should just make it legal and recreational because it's safer that way.
yeah, absolutely.
It shouldn't
Marijuana
be
needs to be
decriminalized at
legalized.
all. It's either like don't have it legalized, or have it illegal, or just have it legal. There should be no in between because the in between is worse. You have to choose one or the other. But
I mean, I think there's an argument to be had there, fair enough. But, the exact definition of decriminalization versus legalization is a
you
little
just
iffy.
you don't
It's
get prosecuted for it.
right. Yeah, I understand that. But I'm saying, like, in the case of like, the safe injection sites, where exactly does it fall on that line? Like, so the safe injection sites, you're not exactly legalizing it because it's not just available at pharmacies. But I guess you're right. It's a little more than decriminalization.
And also, like, there's obviously it's a huge market then in New York if it's decriminalized. Why can't New York be taking that money for the weed by making it legal? And they like because it's governments only, it's like dispensaries
Hmm.
or a lot of the dispensaries, right?
Right.
So they would get so much from that, and taxes, like if it's heavily taxed, just like marijuana and stuff.
Well, well, my
Like
problem
I
with
don't see there's like a missed opportunity there when it comes to like getting money for that.
well, no, because the problem there is that marijuana is okay for people to smoke and it doesn't really harm them. So I'm okay with like the government making some tax money off of it. Heroin is not something anyone should do. And I didn't get the chance to say it in the end. In Switzerland, something like 90 to 95% of the people who were on the program weaned themselves off of it with the therapy provided at the safe injection sites. So part of the appeal of the safe injection sites is that people, if they're provided therapy while there, tend to wean themselves off of it and to get off of heroin. The point of the safe injection sites is to end the opioid epidemic. It's not to profit off of it. Like, marijuana and heroin are very different. Marijuana, like, the entire world could smoke weed and the world wouldn't be worse for it. But like heroin is terrible for you. I don't think that should be like encouraged by the government. It
Right.
should it should be
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people would feel like it is encouraged. Well, not encouraged. It is okay because it's not illegal.
well.
You see that though, right?
You have to draw. You have to.
Obviously, no. Like you see that though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, to
Okay.
to an extent, but you have to be careful. One, with proper education, you can negate that, and two, you educate people to
Don't you
know
think
that
people
heroin is
would
bad.
like people don't experiment with it because it's illegal. If it's legal, people will experiment with it just like alcohol.
I'm sorry that most people who are going to try heroin are going to try heroin whether or not it's legal. Like if they're already set on trying heroin, they're not going to be
I
like,
mean,
ooh, but
yeah,
it's illegal.
okay, yeah,
Uh,
but no, it's like you wouldn't go out of your way to get heroin.
Maybe you wouldn't. Uh, I get, but like it's not that difficult to get right now. Like heroin, especially in like city areas and urban areas, is pretty easy to get. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, like if you have the safe injection sites, you just eliminate the black market for it, and you have proper government education about the dangers of heroin and why you shouldn't be trying this. And you don't. And one of the things that Switzerland did that I'm not sure that we should do, but one of the things that they did was they said you're only allowed to come into the safe injection site for the heroin if you're like already an addict. Like you're not allowed to just try it for the first time. And I have a few problems with that because there were definitely some people that like slipped through the cracks on that one who weren't able to prove that they were already addicts or anything. So it makes it a
Hmm.
little tricky if you do that. But there are ways to make sure that people aren't like just
Like,
trying heroin for fun. That those safe
okay,
injections.
that's the only thing. I don't want people like just like they're like people who aren't taking heroin right now. Any like
Hmm.
me, well, I'm sure you are. You don't take heroin. I
Yeah,
don't want like anyone to experiment with it just because it is decriminalized or illegal. Is what I'm saying.
right.
I don't
But
want more people to fall into that.
wouldn't fewer people try it if the black market were evaporated? If the black market evaporates, wouldn't it be more difficult for people to try it for the first time? It would be more difficult, especially for young people, to get their hands on.
Well,
I mean,
not
this.
if it's legal or decriminalized. You can get it.
Well, no, you can only get it from the safe injection sites. That's the thing. There's no like, especially
Yeah,
for children.
that's only in condition that they do have safe condition, safe
Right.
safe side, something like that.
But just
But
like,
you know, honestly, I would see what you're saying. If
hmm
somehow everything is like a pro with that, that it is safe. Like I don't think heroin is ever completely safe, in my opinion. But
hmm yeah, of course it's never completely safe, but you can make it safer for people so that people don't die, and you can make sure um, that they get therapy and everything while they're going. But yeah,
I
like,
feel like our focus should be on like therapy for those who are drug addicts and rehabs and stuff.
yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like that's where, like in my opinion, that's where the focus should be on.
Well, yeah, and that needs to be controlled by the government because private rehab is ridiculous. Like the concept of private rehab is just
And
absurd
that's
because they have an incentive to have repeat.
and that's what Melania is doing with the opioid crisis. Like she's like
Is Melania
I don't know as
trying
much.
to like nationalize and like socialize drug rehabilitation?
Yeah, she's. I think she's pro that. I don't really know, but like I'm just bringing that up because like that's her one campaign for her. So
Okay, socializing rehab. If that's true, that's actually kind of poggers. Um, hold on.
you might not get like a direct answer.
Mm, da-da-da-da-da. My personal experience. Nope, that's not what I care about. Rehabilitation.
Or all these. I'm looking right. None of this has to do with the thing you typed up.
Oh, the racism, you mean?
Oh no, just like the
Or
news things of like a fake photo or something.
oh yeah, right. Um, yeah, I don't even. I mean, if that's true, that's pretty poggers. But I can't actually find an article talking about her wanting to socialize
Right.
rehabs.
There's
So
not going to be anything direct, but she
right.
speaks at like so many events and stuff.
hmm Well, she
But
might
she
just be
strongly
pro.
supports the mental health,
Yeah,
like
she might just be like pro
increasing the
private
mental health.
rehab. It's possible she's just pro private rehab. And
I don't really know, but
I mean, private
if that's her
rehab.
goal, then like if that's her goal to like try to stop the opioid crisis, then that's good.
Yeah.
But, I feel like we've gotten everywhere with that.
hmm
We yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We've been talking for an hour, by the way. I did enjoy this conversation.
We can wrap it up. Yeah,
Yeah, we can wrap
it
it
was
up
nice.
though.
But I don't. Yeah, I wasn't expecting like a full debate. It was just more reasoning and talking it out.
hmm
So
Right. Right. Yeah.
I don't think this will be interesting for a YouTube video. But go ahead.
I'll like clip some of the more interesting parts. Sure.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. But
Is
yeah.
Josh? Is that Noah's brother?
Yeah. Josh Benon. Yeah.
He just comes in.
hmm I put on like my Snap and a few Discord servers. So if
and
you.
and then he he tells me that I'm right. Yeah, it's a bum stuff.
hmm How many people did I get watching? So I got like 17 to 18 people watching. All
There's
right,
18
that's
right
cool.
now.
All right, but yeah, it was more pleasant talking to you than I thought it would be for sure. We agreed on more than I
Yeah,
thought, and
yeah.
I hope that I convinced you at least on the decriminalizing drugs thing.
Well, like I don't think it's a huge issue in America right now. It's not like something being pushed, so I'm
I
like
mean, there are
indifferent to that.
tens of thousands
But
of people dying of opioid
it,
overdoses a year.
yeah,
It's
if the
kind of a big
back,
problem.
well, you're not gonna. Do you think opioid should be legalized as well? Like you're saying any drug?
Oh yeah, I talked about heroin specifically, but I believe it should be all drugs. Like all drugs should have like safe injection sites should be available for like all drugs. I believe all dangerous
But you
drugs.
know how many people? Like, yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to say that when marijuana gets or like at least recreational, everyone's gonna like that. So many people
Yeah.
are gonna try it because it's loud.
Well,
That would be the
marijuana,
same
sure.
thing.
Marijuana is very
Yeah.
different from heroin, though.
Like if it's a condition that there are multiple sites that is convenient for people,
hmm
but there's still, I mean, there still will be a black market. It will eliminate the black market a lot heavily, but
hmm
there still will be laced drugs and stuff, which is,
Maybe to an extent, but
and they're
it'll be
not gonna
way
get.
less prevalent.
There's no consequences for it. But yeah, it is what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, it was very
I
nice
just
talking to
don't
you.
think it should be a thing. Like I get safe injections, maybe that, if
Okay.
with the exception of that. Otherwise, it shouldn't.
Fair enough. Yeah, safe injection sites. All right. Awesome. It was very nice talking to you.
That's the phrase of the day.
Yeah.
Safe.
Okay. All right. Bye,
All
man.
right. Bye. It's nice